If you are over 60 and you think simply staying busy is enough to protect your body, I want you to pause for a moment and really hear what I am about to tell you, because this one simple exercise may do more for your strength, your balance, your energy, and your independence than most people realize. For years, many older adults were told that if they just kept moving, everything else would take care of itself. And yes, movement matters, walking matters, staying active matters, but there is one powerful movement that trains your body in a way everyday life actually demands. And most people over 60 are either ignoring it completely or doing it without understanding how life-changing it can be. The truth is that after 60, the biggest health threat is not always what shows up on a medical scan. Sometimes the real danger is slower, quieter, and easier to miss. It is the loss of strength that makes stairs harder. It is the loss of balance that makes curbs feel risky. It is the loss of power that makes getting out of the car, climbing into bed, or standing from a low seat feel more difficult than it used to. And once those abilities begin to slip, confidence often slips with them. That is why what we are talking about today is so important. Welcome to the channel, my friend. If you are new here, this is your place for clear, practical, science-backed guidance to help you stay strong, capable, and independent after 50 and beyond. And if you are returning, thank you for being here with me again. I truly appreciate your time, your trust, and your commitment to taking care of yourself. Today, we are discussing one of the most overlooked exercises for healthy aging. And I encourage you to stay with me all the way to the end, because I am going to show you exactly what this movement is, why it works so well, how to do it safely, how to adapt it if you have knee or balance issues, and how to turn it into a short daily habit that can make your body feel more stable and alive within a matter of weeks. Now, let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever noticed that some people can still walk a fair amount every day, but they still struggle with stairs, curbs, rising from the floor, or carrying groceries? That is because being active and being functionally strong are not always the same thing. Many adults over 60 move enough to keep their bodies going, but they do not challenge the muscles and coordination patterns that real life demands. Daily life is full of stepping up, stepping down, shifting weight, catching balance, and moving against gravity. And if your body is not practicing those skills, they begin to fade. That brings us to the one simple exercise that could truly change your life after 60. That exercise is the supported step-up. Yes, something as simple as stepping up onto a low stair or stable platform and stepping back down with control can become one of the most powerful movements in your weekly routine. It may not look flashy, it may not sound revolutionary, but do not let its simplicity fool you. This single exercise challenges your legs, hips, glutes, core, heart, balance, posture, and coordination all at the same time. In other words, it trains the exact abilities you need to stay independent. Think about what a step-up really is. Every time you place one foot on a step and drive your body upward, you are lifting most of your body weight against gravity, using one leg more than the other. That means the exercise builds practical strength in a way that walking on flat ground often does not. Walking is wonderful, but it is repetitive and relatively low challenge once your body adapts to it. A step up, especially when done slowly and with control, asks more from your muscles, more from your balance system, and more from your brain. That added challenge is what creates change. Here is what makes this movement so valuable after 60. It trains the body for real life. It helps you climb stairs more confidently. It makes getting onto curbs easier. It improves your ability to recover if you stumble. It strengthens the hips that support your knees. It helps build the glutes that protect your lower back. It asks your core to stabilize your trunk so you stay upright. It wakes up the feet and ankles so you feel more grounded. And because you are stepping up and down repeatedly, it also gives your heart and lungs a gentle but meaningful workout. Most people think they need a complicated routine to age well. They think they need a gym membership, fancy machines, or long workouts that leave them exhausted. But your body does not care whether an exercise looks impressive. Your body responds to challenge, consistency, and good mechanics. That is why a basic movement like the supported step-up can be so effective. It gives your body a clear message: stay strong, stay capable, stay ready. Now, before you think, I am too old for this, or my knees would never allow it, let me reassure you. The supported step-up is incredibly adaptable. You control the height of the step. You control the pace. You control how much support you use. In the beginning, a very low step is more than enough. Even a single sturdy stair can work beautifully. Holding a railing, countertop, or wall for support is not cheating. It is smart. The goal is not to prove anything. The goal is to train your body safely and consistently. Let me explain why this exercise is different from random movement. After 60, we naturally lose muscle mass, power, bone density, and reaction speed if we do not deliberately challenge them. This process can happen slowly enough that many people do not notice until a task suddenly feels hard. A suitcase feels heavier. Stairs feel steeper. Balance feels shakier. The reason is not weakness of character. It is simply that the body follows the demands placed on it. If life asks very little from your muscles slowly give less back. But when you practice step-ups, you ask the body to push, stabilize, coordinate, and control. And the body listens. One of the most important benefits of step-ups is that they train single-leg strength. That matters because walking, climbing stairs, and preventing falls all depend on how well you can support yourself on one leg at a time. Many older adults lose confidence because they no longer feel steady when their weight shifts from side to side. Step-ups help restore that missing confidence because every repetition teaches your body how to load one leg, stay tall, and stay balanced while moving. And there is another hidden benefit. Step-ups do not just train the muscles, they train the nervous system. Every time you step up, your brain and body have to communicate clearly. Your foot has to find the step. Your leg has to create force. Your trunk has to remain stable. Your other leg has to assist just enough without taking over. This kind of coordinated movement helps sharpen the connection between your brain and your body. That is one reason exercises like this are so valuable for healthy aging. You are not just moving, you are practicing control. Now let us talk about safety, because that always comes first. If you have a recent injury, severe joint pain, uncontrolled dizziness, or a medical condition that affects your balance, speak with your doctor or physical therapist before starting any new routine. That is not fear, that is wisdom. And when you begin, start lower and easier than you think you need to. A low step done well is far better than a high step done poorly. There is no prize for making this harder than necessary. So how do you do a supported step-up correctly? Start by standing tall in front of a low, stable step or the bottom stair in your home. Place one hand on a railing or nearby support if needed. Put your entire foot on the step, not just the toes. Keep your chest lifted, your shoulders relaxed, and your eyes looking forward rather than down. Press firmly through the heel of the foot on the step and gently drive yourself upward until both legs are straight and you are standing tall. Then, with control, step back down 1 foot at a time. That is 1 repetition. Now here is the key that many people miss. Do not bounce. Do not rush. Do not throw yourself upward using momentum. The power of this exercise comes from control. When you step up slowly, your muscles do the work. When you step down slowly, your joints are protected and your balance improves. The lowering phase is especially important because it teaches the body how to decelerate safely. That is exactly the kind of control that helps prevent falls in real life. There is one more reason this movement is so effective, and it has to do with momentum versus control. In daily life, many accidents happen not when people are moving strongly, but when they are lowering themselves, turning, or changing direction. Think about stepping off a curb, coming down stairs, or lowering yourself into a chair when you are tired. Those moments demand eccentric strength, which is simply your muscles controlling your body as it moves downward. Supported step-ups train that exact ability every single repetition. When you step down slowly instead of dropping, your thighs, hips, ankles, and core learn how to absorb force and guide your body safely. That kind of control is pure gold after 60. It protects your joints, improves confidence, and prepares you for the little surprises of everyday movement. It also teaches patience. You stop rushing through motion and start owning it. And that changes the way your whole body behaves. People often focus only on getting stronger going up, but many falls happen on the way down. So if you take nothing else from today, remember this: the gentle lowering part matters just as much as the lift. Respect the descent, and your body will reward you with better balance, better awareness, and better trust in every step you take. And if you feel nervous at first, that is completely normal. Start with a lower step, hold on, move slowly, and let repetition teach your body that this motion is safe. Confidence is not something you wait for before you begin. Confidence is something you build by practicing the right movement under the right conditions until it starts to feel natural again, fully. If the full step up feels too challenging at first, there are simple ways to modify it. You can make the step lower, you can hold support with both hands, you can perform fewer repetitions. You can also begin with a step tap, where you place one foot on the step and lightly press into it without fully rising. That smaller version still teaches the movement pattern and starts building confidence. Then, as your body adjusts, you can gradually progress to full step-ups. You may be wondering, how many should I do? The answer depends on your current level, but the best place to start is almost always less than you think. If you are new to exercise or have been inactive, begin with 5 step-ups per leg. Rest. Then see how you feel. For others, 8 to 10 per leg may be comfortable. The goal is to feel your muscles working, and your breathing gently increase without joint pain or loss of control. Quality matters far more than quantity. And how often should you do them? For most adults over 60, 3 to 5 days per week is a wonderful starting point. You do not need an hour. You do not need to make it complicated. Even a few focused minutes can be enough to send your body the signal it needs. Over time, if the movement feels easier, you can add a few repetitions, add another set, or simply slow the exercise down. Small progressions are powerful because they allow your body to adapt without feeling overwhelmed. Let me share something encouraging with you. Many people assume that if they have been sedentary for years, meaningful improvement is no longer possible. That is simply not true. The body remains adaptable well into later life. It may not change overnight, but it absolutely can change. I have seen people who felt uncertain on stairs begin to move with noticeably more ease after a few weeks of consistent training. I have seen people who relied heavily on railings begin to trust their legs again. That is what happens when you train a movement that life truly uses. And this is exactly where step-ups shine. They do not prepare you for a gym performance. They prepare you for life. They help with stairs in your house. They help with walking up a curb in a parking lot. They help with getting into a bus, climbing a porch step, and moving through the world with less hesitation. That is functional strength. And functional strength is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself as you age. Now let us talk about why walking alone is often not enough. Walking supports circulation, mood, and general activity, and I absolutely encourage it. But walking on level ground usually does not place enough demand on your muscles to preserve the strength and power you need for daily tasks. Power is what helps you catch yourself when you trip. Strength is what helps you lift yourself onto a stair. Stability is what helps you stay centered when your footing changes. Step-ups train all three in one movement. There is also an important bone benefit here. When you step up and press through the leg, your bones experience healthy loading. That kind of loading matters because bone responds to stress just like muscle does. When the stress is safe and appropriate, the body has a reason to maintain stronger tissue. That means exercises that involve lifting your body against gravity can be especially valuable as the years go by. Again, this is one reason simple does not mean weak. Sometimes simple is exactly what the body needs. Let us also discuss the heart. If you perform step-ups for even a short burst of time, you will likely notice your breathing increase more quickly than it does during an easy walk across the room. That is because the movement recruits large muscles and moves your body vertically. This creates a mild but meaningful cardiovascular effect. So while the main goal may be strength and balance, you are also supporting endurance and circulation at the same time. Few simple home exercises give you that kind of return. And then there is confidence, which may be one of the biggest changes of all. Many adults over 60 do not only fear weakness, they fear what weakness means. They fear relying on others. They fear losing choices. They fear feeling hesitant in their own body. When you practice a movement like the supported step-up and you feel yourself getting steadier, stronger, and more capable, something shifts mentally. You begin to trust yourself again. That trust matters. Confidence changes how you walk, how you move, and how fully you participate in life. I want to mention the common mistakes too, because they can quietly limit your results. Mistake number 1 is using a step that is too high. A higher step is not better if it forces you to twist, lean heavily, or push off the back foot. Mistake number 2 is rushing. Fast repetitions often steal the work from the muscles and reduce the balance benefit. Mistake number 3 is collapsing through the chest or staring down the whole time. Your posture matters because posture affects how your body organizes the movement. And mistake number 4 is doing too much too soon. Consistency beats intensity every single time. If your knees are sensitive, there are smart adjustments that can help. Use a lower step. Think about pressing through your heel and engaging your hips rather than letting the knee drift forward aggressively. Keep the movement slow. If you feel sharp pain, stop and reassess. Mild muscle fatigue is normal. Pain is information. Listen to it. If your balance feels uncertain, keep one or both hands on support. There is no shame in that. In fact, support often allows you to practice the movement more accurately, which leads to better progress. If your lower back tends to feel tight, focus on staying tall and lightly bracing your midsection as you step. Imagine your ribs stacked over your hips. You do not need to overthink it. Just stay upright and controlled. Often, when the hips and legs grow stronger, the back feels better because it no longer has to compensate for weakness elsewhere. Again, this is why integrated movements can be so powerful. The body works as a system, not as isolated parts. Let me give you a simple starter routine you can actually use. Begin with a brief march in place or an easy walk around the room for 1 minute. Then do 5 supported step-ups on one leg and 5 on the other. Rest for 30 to 60 seconds. Repeat that one more time if you feel good. Then finish with slow heel raises while holding support and a gentle standing stretch for the calves and thighs. That is a complete mini routine. It does not take long, but it touches strength, balance, circulation, and mobility all at once. As this becomes easier, you can progress in very gentle ways. You can add 1 or 2 repetitions per side. You can add a third set. You can slow the lowering phase to 3 seconds. You can pause at the top for 1 second to work balance, or you can reduce how much you rely on your hands for support. These small changes keep the body adapting without turning the exercise into something intimidating. Remember, the best routine is the one you will actually keep doing. Here is another powerful idea. Attach this exercise to something you already do every day. Do it before breakfast. Do it after brushing your teeth. Do it while the kettle heats up, or before you sit down to watch the evening news. When a habit is linked to an existing routine, you are far more likely to follow through. Motivation comes and goes. Systems are what keep you moving. And please do not underestimate how quickly small improvements can matter. Maybe at first you only notice that stepping onto a curb feels less awkward. Then maybe you realize you are not pulling on the railing as hard. Then perhaps you get up from a chair and your legs feel more alive. These small wins are not small at all. They are evidence that your body is adapting. They are proof that your effort is working. I also want to speak to the emotional side of aging, because it matters deeply. Sometimes the hardest part is not the physical change itself. It is the quiet story people begin telling themselves. I am slowing down. I cannot do what I used to. I should be careful. I should avoid that. Little by little, that story can make your world smaller. The right exercise does more than strengthen tissue. It interrupts that story. It reminds you that your body is still teachable, still responsive, still capable of surprising you. That is why I love this movement so much for older adults. It is humble, it is accessible, it meets you where you are, and yet it touches so many systems at once that it can create a ripple effect through your whole life. Stronger legs often lead to better walking. Better walking leads to more activity. More activity supports the heart, mood, sleep, and blood sugar. Better balance reduces fear. Less fear opens the door to more freedom. One movement can start that chain. Now let me be clear. This is not magic. It is not an overnight transformation, but it is one of those rare exercises that is simple enough to begin immediately and meaningful enough to change how you move through the world. That combination is powerful. Many routines fail because they are too complicated to maintain. This one succeeds because it is practical. It asks for just a few minutes and gives back strength you can actually use. If you already walk every day, that is wonderful. Keep walking. But consider this your missing piece. Think of walking as support for your heart, your mind, and your daily rhythm. Think of supported step-ups as support for your power, your balance, and your independence. Together, they create a much stronger foundation than either one alone. And if you are someone who has felt discouraged lately, I want to say this directly to you. You are not too far gone. You are not fragile just because you are older. You are not disqualified from improvement. Your body may need patience, it may need gentleness, it may need consistency more than intensity, but it can still adapt, it can still become steadier, it can still become stronger. So here is my invitation to you. Within the next 24 hours, find one safe step in your home, stand tall, hold support if needed, and perform just 5 careful step-ups on each leg. Nothing dramatic, nothing extreme, just 5 honest repetitions with full attention. Let that be your beginning. Then come back the next day and do it again. That is how change starts, not with a burst of motivation, but with a simple decision, repeated often enough to become part of who you are. If this message is helping you, take a moment to like this video, because it really does help more people discover this kind of practical guidance. And if you want more simple, encouraging, science-backed strategies for strong and healthy aging, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. I am here to help you keep your body working for you, not against you. And before we finish, take a deep breath with me. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Remind yourself that progress does not have to be dramatic to be real. Sometimes the most powerful changes begin with one low step, one steady repetition, and one new belief about what your body is still capable of doing. If you are over 60, this one simple exercise really could change your life, not because it is trendy, not because it is complicated, but because it trains the exact strength, control, and confidence that everyday life requires. Start small, stay consistent, trust the process. Your future self will thank you for every step you take today.